There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. We're back again with the Yonkō Table. I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and we finally made it to the season 1 finale of What If. We got a lot to talk about with this finale for sure. Unfortunately, this week, fellow Yonkō Grandmaster Hoop is not with us at the table. He's doing shenanigans. Disappointed. This is the finale of What If. He's been standing all these episodes. He's been
he's a Marvel stan for sure. Not here.
Exactly. So it's blasphemy that he's not here, but I guess he can be with us in spirit, but we're going to be ratting on him the whole way through. But as you can hear with me today is fellow Supernova Kame Chris, or is it Comedy Chris? Is it Comedy Chris or Kame Chris?
Why Comedy Chris?
I thought someone thought it was Comedy Chris at one point.
So Kame Chris. You know the house that the Kame house?
Yes,
you know,
yes.
I dropped it a few days ago and it broke, so I have to re-put it back together. So,
wait, you dropped the physical house, the Kame house?
Yeah, the physical Kame house. So it might have been the same time you thought my name was Comedy. So who knows?
Got it. Fantastic. But Kame Chris, how have you felt coming out of this Marvel What If finale? Like just general thoughts, like, because it's a lot to take in, and we have to wait till next year to get a season 2. So
next year, Jesus,
2022. So like, where does this leave you? How do you feel?
I guess I'll sum up like from the whole season up until this, the last episode.
Yeah.
I guess this episode in particular made this whole season, and I hate when you watch final scenes and episodes, like it makes up for the whole entire series. Yeah, this episode, it brought it from the 10-star it was last week all the way down to 8 stars for me, because this episode was not exactly what I thought it was going to be, or anywhere in the realm of expectations. So this episode was just completely lackluster, and I actually hated it, and I didn't like it.
Wow. You hated it. Damn.
I hated this episode. Just if this was like, let's say the energy from last episode was in this one, I would have a completely different opinion. But they gave us everybody so hardcore. They gave us they gave us Captain Marvel, like that insane fight last episode. And then you get Watcher fighting.
I have thoughts on that.
And then we don't. And then it's like, poof, like all the fighting gets like brought down to freaking T'Challa without the Black Panther like suit, and then Killmonger like doing bare minimum. Like I'm just like, yo, this is not it.
Listen, like I know like there's a level of disbelief you're supposed to suspend, like going into practically any Marvel movie, right? And I feel like they asked a little bit too much of that at least from me, right? Just because I'm kind of with you on the same boat as this one. This to me didn't match the same energy as the previous episode 8. I think episode 8 was way better, and being that this was a finale, I'm like, okay, it's the finale. It's got to be the grand crescendo, the climax, and it just like, okay, so basically what? The Watcher, the episode starts off, he's going around to all the different universes to pick the warriors that he needs to fight against Ultron with all the Infinity Stones. My problem with this, and I understand from a story perspective, it makes the most sense to get the characters that we've been seeing up until now.
Yeah.
But why in the hell, when you have a character like Captain Marvel, like you just said, and you choose to pick up Killmonger to fight Ultron with the Infinity? Come on.
Why'd you out of everybody in the Party Thor universe, Loki was even cooler than Thor in his own universe. You picked Thor. Like, he just lost against Captain Marvel. Maybe we should
get Captain Marvel?
Yeah, like I'm not understanding, because then the episode didn't really it wasn't like, oh, because I am Thor, I have the power for one thing that will defeat him, because I am very specific.
I would have accepted that. We
didn't get any of that. His electricity didn't shock the suit. He didn't do anything. There was just nothing done with him. So I was we could have gotten Captain Marvel into this.
We could have. We said it last week. She's like the Superman nuke that is of the Marvel universe. It just, oh my God. And the thing is, if for some reason there's a background, I guess, reason as to why they needed Thor, why specifically Party Thor? Why the clown version?
I guess because of the series, but
the series, right? It makes sense, but logistically, I would have taken any line. It could have just been a line from The Watcher where he said something like, I needed to grab the most recent universes that had these type of issues with multiverse problems. Anything, a line. You don't have to devote 5 minutes to explaining what. Just 3 seconds. Drop a line. I'm fine. They didn't do that. So I'm led to believe The Watcher, which we can believe is one of the top omnipotent beings in the MCU, was okay, Ultron, Vision, all Infinity Stones is about to cause a multiversal collapse. I'm gonna pick up Killmonger. We need him. We need him. He needs to be here.
It did not make any sense. And that scene alone was very lackluster too. Him
getting everyone.
Yeah, him getting them all. It was come with me. You are the chosen.
I'm okay, based on what criteria? What are you chosen based on what? I thought we were getting an explanation. You are the chosen. Okay, why? Why are they chosen?
This was just I cannot believe I said the last episode, oh yeah, they really showed Marvel's storytelling, yada yada yada. But no, literally this it showed the complete opposite, how wrong the story can go. How much sense it won't make. I'm still kind of in shock about the whole entire episode, but that specific scene, I just don't know why they didn't I guess make it a little bit more adventurous. They didn't have the universe crossover. It would have been cool to see T'Challa and Killmonger have a moment. They were the first ones. I'm so they're not gonna talk. The only time they mentioned each other is oh yeah, what are you thinking, cousin? What are you?
We are not cousins.
We are not cousins. Okay, so then why didn't y'all mention this? There's so much story and so much that could have been done, and within 30 seconds, by the way. It wouldn't have needed a lot of moment, a lot of time for these moments. All we needed, a little dialogue. Not have been wow, that was kind of crazy.
I agree. I feel out of all the episodes we've seen so far, this is by far the one that has suffered the most due to its runtime, because it clocked in at I think 30 to 35 minutes. It's the season finale, maybe this could have been 45. Just 10 more minutes. It's fine. It's the season finale, and I just couldn't buy that you're gonna have T'Challa and Killmonger in the crossing dimensions to see each other, and you're not gonna have any bit of dialogue except we are cousins. That was terrible. That was Russian.
That was awful. That was.
I mean, it's just okay, we picked up all the previous characters. For some reason, Watcher picked Gamora over Tony Stark. he was like, no, not you, Gamora, you specifically.
They went out their way to like kind of shit on Tony Stark and in this series.
Yeah,
like
and
they went out of their fucking way. Like
yes,
it's like you can't not notice. Like the Watcher literally is like, not you, Tony. Like like and not that he's like the smartest person in these universes. So
yes, and I mean, like I kind of, oh man, like I should not have to be doing this for the writers, but I kind of created my own headcanon as to why the Watcher said no. And it's because if you remember, right before the Watcher showed up in that scene, Tony was kind of pitching the idea of Ultron to Gamora, except on a more galactic scale. So I don't know if in this universe Ultron in the Gamora's was ever created, because he was basically saying, you know, I'm thinking of a shield around the whole galaxy or around the whole universe. That's the same pitch that he told Bruce Banner and the other Avengers in Age of Ultron, when he was saying like, hey, I want to create this entity to fight against galactic enemies. So my head canon basically said, okay, the Watcher said no to this version of Tony because he's pitching Ultron to Gamora. It's possible that if he picks up Tony and brings him in to fight Ultron, Tony might try to reprogram Ultron to fix him. And so it's like, you know, he'll fight Ultron, but like, you know, he'll have that agenda in the back of his mind. Like, oh, but, you know, this is the Ultron that I, you know, I've always wanted. So let me try to, you know, fix him and not delete him entirely. That's headcanon. That wasn't explained. Yeah. That wasn't said. But the Watcher said, Tony, not you, Gamora. I'm taking you.
You actually bring up a point. They might have never brought Tony in here because he could be a Control-Alt-Delete to figuring out how to defeat Ultron. He may have like known something that a little extra, and they didn't have to do the whole like Hydra pickup and do and go ahead and install that really minuscule arrow that
oh yeah, the virus. I forgot about that.
Whatever. I have my own thoughts about that too, but it, as far as like, I guess he being an easy way out, I guess they didn't want to choose any easy way outs on this, which is understandable. But if you know your fans and know what they know and know how strongly they follow the story so hard with the details, you probably would have just put like they could have used more comic references of like the overpowering parts of Ultron, just to kind of cover the corners of like, you know, if they did pick Captain Marvel instead of Party Thor, that it would have been some like a struggle. Like I don't think it would have been a struggle fight, but they didn't
do it.
It was just the, I guess, as far as like them trying to make like the virus, like, you know, like that be the point. I completely forgot about the virus, by the way.
I thought they dropped that plot line from last week.
And then they just bring it back. It's that, like, it's just the randomness of this episode. It's so why, like, no explanations. Like, oh, wait a year for season 2 though. Maybe we'll get explanations in episode 3.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. Like the whole Gamora thing, it kind of just appears out of nowhere, and news dropped today that Gamora episode was supposed to be in season 1.
Right.
But due to COVID, it got pushed to season 2. And I understand if the episode's not finished, you know, it's not finished, right? You can't just release it. But still, I feel like an episode like that is needed to explain some of the stuff in it. They had an Infinity Stone crusher, like Gamora's universe. I'm like, I'm just supposed to accept this. What is this? Like, I don't know. That
also, it's like everything in this kind of upset me, because the fact that didn't work was like, and the explanation behind it. So why is she here? Like, what? In the end, why are any of these characters chosen? Because now these are the guardians of the multiverse.
I did like that name drop. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, oh, okay, that's That's cute. That's fine. Guardians of the Multiverse. They were playing off Guardians of the Galaxy. It's funny.
It could have been better. It could have been better.
It could have. I mean, I know we've been like crapping on this episode like the entire time. It had some decent elements to it. Like I liked how Party Thor was still a clown. You know, he was a drunkard the entire. It really blows my mind why the Watcher chose him out of all the Thors. If you really wanted Thor, I don't know why he chose this version of Thor, but he was in the What If episode, so we have to pick him. And that was another thing too. Like the Watcher didn't really participate in this fight.
Like we go from literally I'm about to die on the struggle bus against this man in the last episode, and then this one he's like, I'm just gonna let these people that I know probably don't have a good chance go ahead and do it. I'm gonna let them take over. And then you notice like Ultron had a huge nerf. I in my
100%
in this episode. So I was like, I guess the Watcher, I don't know, like why is he not involved when this man is clearly like, he says I could fart and destroy a galaxy, which was probably one of the funniest and greatest lines of that entire episode. But I'm like, that's true. Why is the Watcher not coming down? I mean, you already recruited these people. They know who you are. Get your ass down here and fight. Like, that's just how I felt.
Right. And like he said towards the end of the episode, you know, or maybe it was Doctor Strange that said it. He basically outed the Watcher by saying you knew all of this was going to happen the way it happened. And I'm just thinking, but why though? Like, I don't know, man. I thought the whole point of Ultron breaking into the multiverse, it kind of just took away that foresight that the Watcher had, because he didn't foresee Ultron coming into the multiverse, I guess Pentagon or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever that hallway.
The multiverse hallway. That's what we'll call it. It's literally a hallway. Like he didn't foresee that. So at what point did the Watcher foresee everything else? Was it as soon as he picked up the Guardians of the Multiverse? Or was it when they started fighting? Or maybe, and again, headcanon, I'm assuming because the Watcher could foresee how Ultron was going to be defeated, that's why he chose those specific characters. That's why he chose Killmonger. That's why he chose Party Thor, because he probably foresaw any other choices not leading to the end result that we got in this episode. But that's me kind of filling in the gaps.
I was like, that sounds like fan fiction, because there's no way. Like after, like that would work. It would work.
Yeah, I can take that. I can take that.
But his reasoning, none of his reasonings mattered during the fight. So it was almost like, oh, well,
the Watcher.
I mean, yeah, like all his reasonings did not matter, because you chose Gamora to literally have a faulty weapon that did nothing. So there goes that. So she's out the picture. Thor did absolutely nothing, out the picture. So then it's like, okay, here we go. We got, I forget, not Captain America, but
Captain Carter.
Yeah, Captain Carter. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so she does what? Nothing, in my opinion. So like,
she could throw a shield. Don't crap on the Cap.
So you would think all these people had like a necessary need for this, and you would think the picking of T'Challa and Killmonger was just for like a specific, like I'm thinking like, oh, we're gonna get like a fight, or
they could do some combo moves, man.
A combo move, cousin punch, cousin lariat, like anything, bro.
What, from Naruto?
Yeah, like anything. I would have taken anything but nothing. Like it was so many missed opportunities in there. I think that's why, like, I also created like my little own headcanon, like while I was watching it today. I'm like, man, this could have been better if the Watcher didn't recruit them and he had like them all kind of just meet each other, and it just kind of be, this like, oh my god, like you're from a different universe, and then you can kind of continue the mystery that the original Black Widow in this was having, and she was like, where is Ultron? Like trying to figure out like what are you talking about multiverse? And they could have explained it, all, and we would have still got like a good story, even with those like mediocre characters. But it still would have been like, oh, they're all meeting each other, and you could saw Killmonger see T'Challa, and just him like go straight after him, like, I thought I killed you, and like they're figuring out like, oh, this is a completely different universe.
Right.
Then,
they were pretty accepting as soon as they came in. They're like, oh, okay, multiverse war.
Hey guys,
let's do it.
Yeah,
like some of them might have raised an eyebrow, but like they just accepted the circumstances and went along with it. We like oh wait, go ahead.
Oh, you go.
No, I was gonna say like some of the fight scenes were pretty cool, just decent overall. Like what was it, Thor throwing his hammer and then Dark Strange creating like copies as like an illusion.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like that. And some other like team ups with like Captain Carter and Star-Lord T'Challa, I guess.
Yeah.
So some of those were cool.
I like the hammer. I like the hammer with Captain Carter with she got a little hammer moment with Thor's hammer. I was like, oh. Oh
wait, she did? I think I missed that.
Remember, it was like multiple hammers going around. I think she she either reflected it or grabbed it and threw it back or something. And then she or used it to like bring her back down to the ground or something like that.
Oh god, I gotta watch it.
It was kind of a flash, so it was like she used it for like half a second. I was like, oh,
she's worthy.
Yeah, we got little Easter egg like in here. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
But at the same time, it's like,
I mean, but like you see something like that, you blink and you miss it, right?
Yeah.
If this episode was longer, maybe we could have gotten like a dialogue with like Thor crapping his pants, like, huh? But I guess.
Yeah, your voice was ringing in my head too when I was watching it. When I saw the time, I was like, yeah, if this was like 15 minutes longer, like 45 to 50 minutes, they could have given us so much more story. Like a very like collective of the entire series,
right?
Like if they all visited, like I said, each other's universes, and then we're like, oh, like, we're all here together now. What is going on? Then the Watcher appears, and it's like, oh, I thought I heard a voice when I was traveling here. Weird. And it would have been, and that would have been the perfect little like 10 minutes we needed, like just to give a good, very good backstory as to how they really, meet each other, not be so casual, because that killed it. Like,
right. No, I agree. I mean, like even some characters that appeared in here, like Dark Strange, I didn't expect the attitude shift from Dark Strange to be, pretty relaxed and cooperative with everyone. Like, I understand he only did what he did to, try to bring back his love from, I think it was episode 3 or 4. But I don't know. I thought, knowing Dark Strange and knowing the situation he was left in before this episode, I mean, I thought he would have some vengeful like spirit in him, or I mean, he has all these demons inside of him. I mean, I thought that part was kind of cool. He was easily the most busted character in this episode, at least on the hero side, because even Ultron said, I take you out, they're all going down.
Yeah. He was their legs, arms, and head.
He was. Like, he gave them all shields to protect themselves.
Gave them power-ups while still trying to deflect, and at the same time, like, bringing out these old demons inside of him, which they could have done a little bit more. I was expecting.
I'm glad they did it at least, but
yeah,
a longer episode, you probably could have seen more.
Yeah, we could have seen a lot more. And honestly, with the Dark Strange, I think his personality was fine because of just the one thing that he was really like trying to do is just bring her back. But other than that, I think they just maybe overpowered him. Like, okay, like we said, why didn't you just grab Captain Marvel and everybody else? Imagine like him, oh, let me give Captain Marvel a suit with magic protection. Oh my God, she wins.
She would 1v1s.
Yeah, like it just, I feel like the last episode was so good as far as like fan servicey in a way, as far as like giving us that, you know, those fights and that energy we really were wanting.
Right.
They did not keep that up. Like that's all they had to do was just like keep that fire going, and they got the fire extinguisher with the water and the sandbag and said, fuck all of you. It was like, fuck you, I don't care.
I think they focus way too much on the fighting aspect of this episode, which I mean, I guess for a finale it's fine, but I mean, we sound like a parrot at this point. It needed to be longer. You needed some of these moments just to make sense. Like Captain Carter is someone from the 1940s, frozen 60 plus years later, gets unfrozen into the 21st century, gets pulled by another galactic entity into a multiverse. Like that's gonna break someone's mind, man. Like
that, she's got to be like not like, yeah, I'm Captain Carter. Wow. Like, come on, like she was like blinking, like she was like winking and stuff. Like you should be like on the verge of losing your shit.
She shouldn't be used to that, but I mean,
not at all.
And then the Ultron fight itself, the entire time, at least he used it, but I was like, dude, you have the time stone. Why aren't you using this thing? Like, why aren't you using some of your other Infinity Stones? You had the entire gem collection on your... He was nerd, 100%. And it's Ultron at that, too. So it's Ultron plus the Infinity Stone, all of them that he has at his disposal, and he's not using them. He used the time stone like once, and you saw how busted it was in that one instant. But then, you know, it was Dark Strange that was able to counter it somewhat because he also has the time stone.
Yeah.
But I just, oh man, and then that reveal with the Infinity Stone Crusher, it was supposed to be the thing to destroy it, but it couldn't because it was specific to Gamora's universe Infinity Stones, which I guess in a way.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I mean, that was the big, you know, plot twist. It's like, all right. I mean, it doesn't work. So now what do we do?
Now what? And I think as far as like the Infinity Stones have that's been like a thing. You know how I like keep mentioning this theme of these Infinity Stones. I keep seeing how all of a sudden that they don't like that didn't work in another universe. I don't understand where they
like the power, like how is it being activated in a separate universe?
Yeah, that, well, I was like getting there, but I'm saying like how didn't the Crusher just work on any Infinity Stone? Like regardless if it's a different universe, still same stone concept. So I'm not understanding as far as like what's the explanation, because if we do get into this multiverse conversation or into this realm in the MCU, you know, what's going to happen when this actually when someone does have an Infinity Stone, like we get another Doctor Strange or something from a different universe, and they're like, oh, like we can steal his Infinity Stone. Like, what if, like, is it going to work or will it not work? Because obviously Ultron's working in whatever universe.
Yes.
So why didn't the Crusher, like, what was it? Like, first of all, because what the hell was that? Like, where did she just decide to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this to crush the Infinity Stones? But when did they get to where like those are where the plot holes I have a problem with, as far as like what's the explanation? What's the reason? Because if this is gonna be like at some point important for us to like care about, which last episode I was very certain that all of this was very important. If it is going to be important, how would this affect anything going on? Because everything's been pretty cohesive. I'm not going to lie. Everything's been like, there haven't been too many plot holes where I'm like, oh, that doesn't make any sense because of X, Y, and Z that happened in Age of Ultron. Like, everything makes a lot of sense. This episode kind of put me in very much a confusion of what in the hell, like, is this anymore? Is this the Vision, like the Star Wars, you know?
Right.
Like,
God. Is this a separate thing on its own?
Yeah. Like, are we getting the Star Wars, like the Vision is just like not canon anymore? Or is this just a fluke of an episode.
Right. I think that's an element that was just missing because we didn't get that Gamora episode. And I already hear it ahead of the curve. People are going to say, oh, you can't fault it for the Gamora episode because they said because of COVID, it's going to be pushed to season 2. But when the Gamora episode and my enjoyment of the season finale of season 1 is tied to an episode that is being pushed into a later season that I can't see, that's gonna harm the season finale that I'm watching. It's a fact.
It affects how we interpret the context of the episode and if it's good or not, because it could actually have been a great episode, maybe in episode 5 in season 2. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, by the time we get to that point, there could be so much explained that we're like, that was a crazy finale last year. Why did we miss that? Because you didn't explain shit.
We didn't explain it. And that thing with Gamora, like that Infinity Stone Crusher, that's such a unique item that has never been seen before in the MCU. And even though it didn't work in this episode, I feel like it was supposed to be a big deal. Like, you know, of it, it crushes Infinity Stones. Like, it's supposed to be a big deal.
That stops the whole Marvel story.
Right. And like there was like an element where I was kind of confused because again, we didn't get that Gamora episode where like I thought you're supposed to like take the stones and put them into the crusher and put it in the hole, but like they got the Mind Stone, they put it in a part of the crusher, and then they placed the crusher on top of Ultron, and like I think it started grinding against his chest, the stones.
Yeah.
And then the lights were turning on, and I'm like, wait, so the stones are getting sucked into the machine?
Absorbed? Yeah.
He's like, what's going on?
What's that? That's giving me very Thanos thinking. It's giving me very much, I want this for myself. Like,
and it turns out it didn't work. So I'm like, okay, if it didn't work, then why were the lights on this thing turned? What did the lights mean? What did that mean? Was it sucking out the power? Was it grinding it? Was it? We don't know, and we won't know until season 2, and that is a problem. That's a problem. It is a problem. You can't do that. I'm sorry, you cannot do that. And so I'm gonna dock this episode because of that, because that was an element that was supposed to be important, and I had no idea what the hell was going on with it.
Well, I'll add as far as the Crusher, because we're gonna have to get that explained, and because it's such a fucking big deal. I think it may be a little bit more simpler than we're like probably making it, because the Mind Stone, now I'm thinking about it,
it's probably not that complicated.
Yeah, the Mind Stone probably is the Mind Stone controlling the Crusher, which would make sense. And then when it takes this, okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but it had I don't know if that's a Soul Stone that's yellow.
The Soul Stone. Oh boy, here we go. I'm bad with the colors on these things.
I'm bad with the colors.
I know the Mind Stone is the yellow-ish one, because that's the one that Vision always has on his forehead.
Okay, yeah, because it had 2 of those on there on the lights. I don't know if you noticed the lights, but it had like 2 of those on there. So I was like, wait, trying to figure out what is going on this fucking light. Like, it was like, and I was like, did she just grab them? But how does she grab more than what those lights are giving? Because I'm not understanding anything. Like, but if it is what I think it might be, it could absorb them, and it could be like her version, because we don't know what her universe is about technically. Because this could
universe?
Be Gamora's.
Oh, Gamora. Okay, right.
So we don't know if actually she could be a villain, because Killmonger is a villain as fuck. So
yeah, you know, we have him here. It's like, this guy's gonna betray. Okay, all right.
And then he tried to take the Infinity Stones for himself. So it's
Shocker.
Like, so I wouldn't put it past Gamora's storyline that she herself could be the evil one, and she got Tony Stark to maybe help her do some like crazy maniac shit. And it would, okay. You know what? Now that I'm saying that makes more sense. I could accept that in the next season. I will say maybe this episode was a little better only because I made that explanation up.
After sitting on it for some time, I think the explanation is sound. I think I explained it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know one thing I liked in the episode was when I'm thinking it was the Mind Stone. Like Vision lost the Mind Stone, and he kept trying to grab it, and they were not letting him get to it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that a little bit. Like you thought he was gonna get close. Like all right, I almost got, and then boom, 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 like from all directions.
Every time.
It was funny. It was cool. You had that like little that double team attack from Captain Carter and Black Widow where they used the shield.
That was cool.
I'm like, okay, that's nice. That's nice. Like,
was that realistic? No, but it was cool.
It was fine.
Like Ultron should have seen that.
He should. Yes.
That should have been avoidable. Like he should have known that Captain Carter was right behind him. Like it's just some things. Like you have all the Infinity Stones. Thanos did not. He was fighting all the Avengers by himself at one point, and won.
He didn't even have all of them. He didn't have all of them.
Didn't even have all of them, and yet this robot freak ass like that could
actually, you know what? That's good that you said that, because I'm starting to think back into Infinity War. I don't remember which stones he had, but I think he had the Space Stone, and oh my god, I need to watch Infinity War again. I remember
one of the last stones was the Mind Stone, I believe. The one that
the one from Vision because he ripped it out of his head. Yeah,
he ripped it out of his head, and that was the one everybody was being so dramatic about, like preventing him from getting, because I think that was the last stone.
It was
because the one before that was the one Doctor Strange has,
right, in the necklace.
Yeah, so he took that, and then it was like game over, and he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go multi-dimension mode. Like,
I'm gonna go right. And like in that movie, you know, he had like what, maybe 2-3 like max, again going off of like from what I remember, but he was whooping ass against Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was Star-Lord, Drax, and the Mantis, I think.
The girl
Mantis.
Yeah.
I don't remember if anyone else was there, but homie was whooping ass. Okay.
Yeah. No, he handled them. Like
he had
them in the bag. Like I was thinking they should have won that, but we're talking about Ultron, like with all
Ultron. This is Ultron, supercomputer Ultron.
Yeah, like this is like Super Saiyan God. Like I don't know how to explain this. It's on another level. He heard the Watcher speak. I'm sorry, like he's on another
level
playing field. So it's like it. Maybe this was just one of those, like they were like it felt very rushed. Now I'm thinking about it, it feels rushed. It feels like rushed writing. Like she jumps on back, arrow goes through head, virus enters Ultron. Yeah, we win. Like what the fuck?
At least that element wasn't wasted from last week's episode. Like the whole virus thing. I'm like, okay, now it's coming back into play, and it's a thing now. And like you said earlier, once Vision lost the stones, Killmonger came in and he took it for himself, and I'm like, I thought it was dumb, a Killmonger with the Infinity Stones. I'm like, okay, whatever.
That was stupid. That was pure idiotic. Like that was just, oh my gosh. Like it's just when it's bad in this episode. That's it. That's what it is, because you know when Killmonger took that Ultron head, one of the Ultron heads that Thor brought back, I immediately in my head I thought, oh, like he's gonna like try to like reprogram him or something. How the hell did he do that to get the Infinity Stones? Like I need an explanation on what the fuck that was all about.
I feel like there's an element that it probably went over my head in the episode that I just didn't listen to a line that was dropped. I was kind of confused at that scene too. He had like a helmet and like the Ultron thing was coming into the helmet. I don't know. I probably have to watch the episode again, God forbid, to understand that scene.
I'll say like from last week, remember when we were talking about like, oh, when Ultron came to party Thor? Well, obviously that was just the Ultron in that universe. That wasn't like
Oh wow.
Ultron coming. Yeah, that like remember Thor was fighting all of them just
in
like
the beginning of the episode.
yeah, and they never really explained any of that. But from what I'm assuming, because if Ultron was there, I mean, it would be the story would start there. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
but Ultron
fight-
wasn't there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, in that scene. So
The Ultron robots were there, but Ultron himself was not there. Even though in Party
Right.
Thor, we saw him walk in to Party
Yeah.
Thor.
and
Wow.
why didn't Ultron appear? Don't know.
Yeah,
Like-
this was. I swear to God, if this is something from the Gamora episode, I'm gonna be so pissed. If a lot of these plot holes that we're kind of pointing out, if it's something from Gamora, I'm like, guys, you might as well have just delayed What If Gamora was that integral to
Special edition, special episode, randomly. They just need to like release it like randomly next week or in the next month or
whenever,
something.
as soon as it's done, as soon
Yeah,
as it's
like-
done, just release it.
Like here, like here's
Here's
the
that missing
explanation.
link.
I'm sorry, guys. But
Oh man.
I'll say like it's probably how like from last week how we were like, where's Wanda? Where's like all these characters? Oh,
That
they
was
all
cool.
Yeah, they all
I like
came.
that. Yeah, the zombie. Because I was wondering, like, okay, we're referencing all the past episodes in this finale, and I was wondering, like, wait, but they're not going to reference the zombie episode. How are they going to do that? And then Dark Strange brought in the zombies, and it was zombie Wanda, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. And then, but Ultron just like nuked. He nuked everyone,
Yeah,
and that.
he nuked the universe. I don't know, like it was done.
I'm like, okay. I mean, he recognized how powerful Wanda was, and he's like, no,
no, control alt delete. I can't.
I can't. I can't. I'm not dealing with you. I'm sorry. And then, boom, done. Like, yeah, like going into like how rushed this episode was when Killmonger was giving that speech. When he got the Infinity Stones, he was making some valid points. Like he was saying, guys, we can fix our worlds.
Yeah.
From the way we were, and he went down each line, and everyone had something they wanted to change about their world. Maybe not Party Thor, but
Yeah.
you know, Captain Carter for sure. What was another name? I'm trying to remember who else was there. There were other characters there that had a reason to like change their past. And T'Challa, like no one counters his point at all. T'Challa just says, "Gazan, you do not want to do this." And
Yes, we do.
yes, we do. Like,
Yeah, because
why
I
not?
felt I was like, that's a great. Like I was like, wait, he's doing the good part of what
He's doing a service.
Yeah, like
And-
he's doing greatness right now. What are you talking about?
And I know the right decision is to not do that, but why didn't anyone give that reason to counter T'Challa? And the reason why is because the episode was rushed. It
Yes.
did not have time for a because that could have been some dynamic between T'Challa and Killmonger where he gives him like a speech about I don't know, some Kingdom Hearts BS, friendship is magic, darkness is truly evil, all that stuff. He would have given him a speech, something, and Killmonger still would have said, no, I'm still gonna watch anime and kill everyone and all that stuff. So
Gotta watch
Rush-
Naruto Shippuden. But I forget how Michael B. Jordan said
I watch a lot of anime. And so we end off the episode with the Watcher revealing he never had any intention of them being able to take the Infinity Stones from Ultron, but rather he foresaw that Killmonger and I guess not really Ultron, but like the Nazi scientist guy, yeah, like they were gonna be in like an endless pocket dimension control, like trying to fight for them, and then Dark Strange contains that, and they just fight for eternity in that pocket dimension, fighting for those stones, and I guess
what if
that's
they just stop.
And I'm like, this is kind of like where I'm like, bro, you're like Dark Strange. regretted doing what he did to his universe, and he's like, bro, can you fix this? Can you take me out of this? And the Watcher's like, nah, homie, peace out. And then he just fades to black.
Yeah.
And he's coming back in this episode, damning Dark Strange by telling him, bro, I can't help you out with your universe, but what I can do is give you a little pocket dimension to watch over, so you're not alone in that dark dungeon dimension area that you're in. And Dark Strange is just chill with it. He's like, yeah, bro, don't worry, I got you. Why are you happy? Why?
There's nothing great about any of this. Like,
everyone else got a happy ending. Black Widow got a happy ending.
Everyone had a great time. Dude, at the end.
He literally, Black Widow was probably so everyone went to their own dimensions. Black Widow gave not Dark Strange, Watcher a speech at the end saying like, listen, I'm not going back to my world. You want to know why? Because it's hell. It's barren. Like Ultron destroyed
There's
it.
no one there.
Why am I going to go there? And the Watcher's like, oh, I can't break my oath. Oh. And so
he just did last episode.
He just did. He plopped him into an Avengers world where Black Widow was dead. And I'm like, okay, so she gets a happy ending. Why didn't Dark Strange get one? Are his crimes too grave? I don't know. You could have told me. Maybe it was.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Or to nerf him, maybe, because he really is pretty powerful.
He is.
I would think they wouldn't really want him in the picture, but they gave everybody that happy ending though, which I also want to talk about because
Carter got one too. I forgot about that.
Yes, that's what I was. Yep.
Oh, is that where you're going?
Yeah, that's what I was going. Yep. Okay. Carter got her man. So, my thing is, okay, the episode titles, the Watcher breaks the oath. Like, he doesn't obviously, follow the oath anymore. The last part, all those last scenes were pretty much examples of him breaking the oath continuously. Right. So I'm thinking without all these explanations that he has to intervene again sometime soon, because if something happens,
season
it's his fault. Yeah, if something happens, it's his fault. Like he did break the oath when he should have broken the oath, but if he never broke the oath, he'd never be responsible for anything. So now he has to take responsibility, and he's going to have to actually not watch, but be a actual sole player in these universes now, which I don't know how they're going to talk about this season 2. But my thing as far as when you had with Killmonger coming, getting all the Infinity Stones, and then the Watcher not being involved at all was a little bit weird, because I'm like, wait, he knows that that whole thing with Ultron could happen again. He's going to get hassled again. Is he not the narrator of this, or what? Is he not paying attention to anything he's doing? And with the Party Thor one, I don't know if you remember the very ending when the guy that was supposed to be watching Thor ended up coming in the end.
Watching from the Party Thor episode?
Yeah, from the Party Thor episode.
Someone watching Thor.
Remember the mom was like, he has an eye out on you, and Thor was like,
oh my god, I forgot his name. It's Idris Elba,
yeah.
Heimdall.
Yeah, so when he came in the end, because I'm pretty sure that was him in the end. I don't know if they made that clear if that was him or not, but I'm pretty sure when they showed the Infinity Stones, him taking the Infinity Stones, why did they not go thorough enough on just that? Because he comes at the end of that episode you're just like, oh, I know that's got to be him with the Infinity Stones.
Wait, you mean at the end of this episode?
No, Party Thor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Party Thor, I don't know if you noticed, but because I know we say that was Ultron, but it kind of looked like that guy had taken the Infinity Stones.
Heimdall?
Remember, he was supposed to be watching, and never popped up ever again. You never see him in the episode, not one time in Party Thor. And I think that last scene may have been him, which is what I thought they were going to get into more on this episode. The things that were dun dun dun, the things that were like the very last cliffhanger, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get all this explained. They didn't do anything, so I'm a little upset that all these wasted opportunities are not going to be seen in season 2, especially with Killmonger and the Infinity Stones and him being tracked in that thing. Now I'm like, oh, what a waste of a good character.
Well, I mean, we never know. We might, because that's the big question too. What is season 2 gonna be about? Because season 1 was clearly a buildup of all these characters to eventually have this multiverse war with the Ultron with the Infinity Stones and the Watcher being involved. What's season 2 gonna build up to? Like another multiverse war? Is it gonna build up to anything? Like what? I'm really curious as to what direction they're gonna go in with season 2 of What If, because it's kind of like season 1. We already had our, I guess, Avengers moment, if that makes sense, like because everyone showed up and everyone fought the baddie, and it was a big multi-war scale battle. But I don't know what they're gonna do for a season 2. I don't even know if in season 2 they're gonna continue like the stories from season 1, like with Captain Carter. Like, what is she gonna see with Steve, since he's still in the suit? What is he? First off, we don't even know if Steve in that suit is like sane or like maybe he's like the Winter Soldier equivalent. I don't know. I don't know.
Sad.
But that's whatever. But like, I'm hoping they kind of just move on from these characters in season 2 and give us new What If stories. And then it just begs the question, okay, if you're moving on to new stories, how the hell are you going to include Gamora in all this? Because Gamora is probably going to have a cliffhanger that is going to lead into the season 1 finale, but it's season 2. Like, you're watching it in season 2.
Gross.
And you see what I mean? I just, my God, it's aggravating. It's aggravating.
It could be a hit. Like, and I'm only going to say, just from deductive reasoning, so if we're gonna have Gamora, that's obviously in this season. If she's gonna be in the second season, I would assume the story continues. I would assume this is going to.
We pick off. We pick up from
the same story. So I think we're gonna still get the individual, like probably some new universes or repeated ones with like completely different characters with their whole entire different storyline.
Right.
And we could maybe get to like some like singular point in time with all of this where like Gamora goes back, but we may get a look at like the timeline of what happened in season 1 of like different things that were going on, because we still don't know if Gamora if this is her own universe or was she in someone else's universe. I remember that was the thing we talked about last time. If it was like, oh, what universe is she coming from? Like, honestly, like, if we're going to be talking about old stories, is she going to have her own? Or if we're going to talk about new stories, is it going to be a completely new universe? If so, then it's going to explain a lot of the season finale of this one. But again, I don't want to enjoy the season finale, episode 5 of season 2. Like, I just don't want that to happen. But I have a feeling it's all going to make sense, and they're going to bring like, oh, like we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, but like instead it's like, it's just the Wasp or something, or or the Wasp is now like part of the Guardians of the Galaxy now, or some shit. Like, we're going to get something. So
I really want new What Ifs. Like, I don't mind some sequels to I guess some of these characters if they have to, but I just want new stuff, man. It's What If, it's multiverse. Like, just really just throw in whatever you can think of about anything. And that's the whole point of What If. I mean, that's at least what I expect from a season 2, but we'll see. I guess the final question, Kame Chris, what would you rate this episode? I think I kind of have an idea of how you're gonna rate it, but maybe talking through it.
What would you think?
Like on a scale from like 1 to 10? Like, how would you rate it?
Yeah.
I'm feeling 6 or 7 from you.
You're close. It is 7.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
a strong 7. It was a 6. Like,
Oh damn! It was that low.
It was a 6, but as we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, some details weren't awful, but it's a 7 because, god damn it, with their bread and butter, they literally just kind of threw it down the fucking trash can and said goodbye. Like, they're like, goodbye, story. We do not need you anymore. This does not have to make sense for our season finale. So I was really disappointed in the episode. It just wasn't like the last one where I felt like, oh no, I need to watch this. Like, it's like from minute 1, from like 0.001 all the way up into the last minute. This one, I was like, I could be on my phone. I could probably, like, I don't know, just kind of ignore it for a second. But I would say, yeah, this was not a good episode. All around.
I was a little bit harsher because it was the season finale and because we came off of the previous week's episode with Ultron, and I really like that episode. Listen, it's the season finale. You gotta end strong. I was higher when we started off, and the more we talked about it, I'm like, bro, this episode just aggravated me to no end. And honestly, I'm at a 6. I'm at a 6 with this one. It has some really cool action scenes. I like the action scenes where, you know, like we said earlier, when Vision lost one of the stones, they started like scrambling for it, and you know, none of them could ever get it. I like that. Some scenes
like
of Black
Widow. It felt like
it did.
Like that scene, that struggle scene for the glove. Like, it felt literally just like that.
I like that. It was nice with that. Yeah. And then, you know, you had some cool scenes where like Doctor Strange unloading the zombies on Vision with Scarlet Witch,
Which I forgot about the zombies.
I forgot. I'm like, oh yeah,
zombies.
there are zombies. Yeah.
I was like, zombies? What the fuck? And I saw Wanda, I was like, what? Oh, I get it. It was from his episode. All right.
It was from that episode. So I was like, all right, this is cool. But like, when my belief in what is going on is skewed because some things are either not explained or just flat out ignored, I can't give it anything higher. And I think part of why it's getting a 6 from me also is because of that Gamora episode too. I feel like that it's not the main reason, but it's an element to what would have made this episode just a little bit better, because Gamora is just kind of there. I don't really care about Gamora, at least this version of Gamora, because I don't know her. We didn't get an episode of her.
I just don't know what COVID had to do with any of this. Like, I feel like that was a cop-out. I feel like
it might have just been like a late in production thing.
Yeah, like I feel like someone overslept and was like, oh shit, the Gamora episode. Like,
I forgot.
This was supposed to be 10 episodes, not 9. They won't notice. Like,
I'm like, because yeah, I remember before the season was announced, I thought we were getting 10 episodes, and then I saw 9. I'm like, oh, I guess it was 9 all along.
I can't remember who kept assuming last podcast about this. It was like, oh, there's 10 episodes. Like, no, there's only 9. I think it was Toasty.
Yeah. He was like, oh, there's 10, right? I'm like, oh man, there's not.
You would think because of Gamora, like, we were getting another episode, but we did not. Man, we didn't. Why would they start releasing episode 1 without having her episode included in this? COVID, we're not in that type of lockdown. Like, all we need is voice actors, okay? You guys been doing it obviously for 9 episodes. What happened with this one? We did not get what we were supposed to get. This was ass.
Right. We needed Gamora. We didn't get her.
Quick to take a subscription, but not quick enough to release an episode. But
we'll take your money for sure. we'll be on time for that.
I remember that Disney Plus.
But I guess before we close off, the bigger question, because this is the season finale of What If, how would you rate What If season 1 in general? For me personally, I would say, as a season 1, as a first foray into this uncharted territory, I would give it an 8. I there were some episodes on average, right? Some episodes were kind of some were really good, and some were kind of in the middle. I thought overall it was an 8 worthy season 1. When season 2 comes out, I'm gonna be hella harsher. All the problems I had with season 1 better be gone.
Magnified.
Gone. Cleansed.
-2. This would
-2.
be a 6. This would be a 6 if they did the same thing.
Exactly. So I'm overall for a season 1. Even though I thought the season finale was a 6, I think overall season 1 of What If is an 8. It was good. I like some of the concepts. Iron them out for season 2. Get it out of your system, and let's hit the ground running. I don't know how we're gonna hit the ground running with a Gamora episode that's supposed to be in season 1, but we'll manage. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
How would you rate it?
Like any good professor or really a good teacher that knows what they're doing. When you miss parts of the assignment, when I ask you to answer all the questions,
where are the teachers in this table?
I literally, where are you, teacher? No, so I would say episode, like, if I have 10 questions, answer all 10 questions. Don't give me just the 9 questions, because then you kind of failed because you didn't answer the one question I needed you to answer.
Like, you can't just say, because I knew that you knew the answer to number 10, I'm gonna give you a pass on skipping the answer to number 9.
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't care. No. So this series, honestly, if they put in the Gamora episode, we haven't even seen it, and I feel like we're already kind of rating it because of what it should contain. So based off of that, mine is a fair 8. It could be a 7.5, and I'm saying because how the fuck did you miss a whole episode? And you're not slick, Marvel, because we know no series has 9 episodes, and then there be like the finale, the last episode, we're missing like 10%, so to say, of content.
Yes.
So it could have been a 10 out of 10, because remember, last episode was fantastic.
It was the only episode for me that got close to the T'Challa episode that I really liked.
And I didn't care for the T'Challa episode.
We know, Chris. We know.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, it wasn't great, but I would say this series could have honestly been a 10 out of 10. Seriously,
it could have. Yeah.
If they like did what they were supposed to do, I would have been like, wow, this is great. Like, I'll rewatch it just because it was that good. This no. Very much upset me. Gave me a very Attack on Titan vibe. Like, I did not
oh man, that's an episode by itself.
Yeah, like I did not like this. So that's an fair. 8. And then you know, obviously it made me think of like all the other bullshit that they missed out, like of the previous episodes. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, missed opportunities all the way through the series now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to rate this all the way to the 4.
Double down on the character interactions. You missed it in this episode. You missed it in prior episodes with some characters, but you definitely missed it with this one.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm at a 6. 10 extra minutes could have been probably an 8. Maybe I would have gotten the things that I wanted out of this episode as a finale.
10 extra minutes would have probably got into a 9.
Damn.
Like,
yeah.
Like if 10 extra minutes could have done a lot, but like I said last time, it costs money to do all this stuff. So
it costs money.
It could be COVID affecting their money, but no, the way they snatch Disney Plus subscriptions, I doubt that they're broke. So yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that sums up our thoughts on the season finale of What If season 1. More or less, it is what it is. You guys listen, if you got this far, you know our thoughts already, and let us know what you guys think as well. Maybe we missed something, maybe we missed a little detail that maybe would make us think this episode was a little bit better than it actually was. And if you enjoyed it, hey, let us know. We want to hear your perspective as well. And it might change our thoughts. Who knows? Not mine. Jokes. But for real, let us know. Let us know what you think, because we would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, if you liked what we had to say or enjoyed the podcast, don't forget to leave a like, share it around with friends and family, and don't forget to hit that like button on whatever social media platform you're listening to, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or what's the last one? YouTube. If you want to see our lovely faces, well, just me and Kame Chris, but we're probably the loveliest faces you're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations. This is the episode.
This is the episode.
Yeah.
But that wraps up this week's episode of the Yonkō Table, guys. I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, fellow Supernova Kame Chris, signing off. Take care, guys.